chapter 4. Hebrews chapter 4. Amen. Beginning with verse 14. Hebrews chapter 4. Verse 14. Concluding verses. Fourth chapter of Hebrews. Amen. Amen. When you have found it, you can let it be known with an amen.
Amen.
Hebrews chapter 4, beginning our reading with verse 14. These words are left on record. Seeing then that we have a great high priest that is passed into the heavens, Jesus, the Son of God, let us hold fast our profession. For we have not an high priest which cannot be touched with the feeling of our infirmities, but who was in all points tempted like as we are, yet without sin. Let us therefore come boldly unto the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in time of need. Again, let us, in verse 16, let us therefore come boldly unto the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in time of need. You may be seated. I just for a little while as I look upon that 16th verse that captured my attention. Let us therefore come boldly unto the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in time of need. I want to talk today just for a little while from this thought, and that is, there is grace at the throne. Amen. There is grace at the throne. Amen. All of y'all look like you're practicing safe, and you got your covering on. So just turn to your neighbor and say, neighbor, today, Pastor's going to talk about there is grace at the throne. Look at somebody else. Say, neighbor, today, Pastor's going to talk about there is grace at the throne. Somebody give the Lord a hand praise. There is grace at the throne. My brothers and my sisters, we have talked about and sung about for years, even before we knew the meaning of grace. We were singing about grace. We was singing the old hymn of the church, the preacher's anthem. Amen. Amazing grace. How sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Blind, but now I see. He said it was grace that taught my heart to fear. My heart to fear relief. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed. We didn't know as much about grace then, but we were singing about grace. Even to the point, through many dangers, toils, and snares, I have already come. It was grace that brought me safe thus far. And grace. Anybody remember that? Believe me on. My brothers and my sisters, we talked and we sung about grace. But our appreciation for grace was not as great then as it was or as it is since we have found out about grace. My brothers and my sisters, we say grace woke me up this morning. Grace started me on my way. It was grace. We did songs about grace without having very much knowledge of what grace really was or really is. But now that we have walked with the Lord a little longer and have experienced His grace a little more, we can embrace it more. We can embrace it more because we not only been singing grace, but now we're in a realization that we've been living under grace. Anybody know you're living under grace? And it's so good to live under grace instead of under judgment. Do you not know how bad off we would be if we was living up under the law instead of under grace? That we would have been cut off. But thanks be unto God that grace and mercy is working on our behalf. My brothers and my sisters, it is so much in this. I'm not going to get a chance to get through it all, but it's so much in this because I see that the writer has, and y'all know how I feel about Hebrews 8, even though I said the other week that we don't know for certainty who is the author of the book of Hebrews, but it does have a great similarity of Paul, and some have appended as Paul epistle, but regardless if it's Paul or not, it was somebody who had a great knowledge in history of Old Testament traditions. And then they also had an awareness of New Testament fulfillment. And so by having a knowledge of Old Testament tradition and New Testament fulfillment, they was able to line up the high priest of the Old Testament and our great high priest of the New Testament. They was able to make contrast between the Old Testament high priest that enter into the Holy of Holies once a year for the atonement of the sin of the nation, and make the contrast with the great high priest who have now entered into heaven. They was able to look at what was being done with the Old Testament high priest and what has been done through the New Testament great high priest. And so he encouraged us, because Hebrew church was under great persecution. They was going through some hardships and some hard aches. And some of them, as some of us are, they were tempted to go back because, and embrace that which Christ had fulfilled. Embrace that that was doing before Christ fulfilled the New Testament great high priest. Now, in the midst of this, because some of them only knew the earthly high priest, so that the highest religion was based upon what was done in tabernacle and tent. But now the writer here is trying to inform them that they have accepted redemptive work of Christ and don't give up. Don't go back to the tradition that you used to be doing. Now some of us know that sometimes when things get hard, if we're not careful, when progress becomes hard and challenging, if we're not careful, we'll go back to the place that is a comfort place for us. Y'all talk back to me. So sometimes when we don't want to embrace the struggle and embrace the heartaches and the pain that it takes to move forward. Sometimes it's so easy to go back to the thing that we're comfortable with. And may I suggest to you, my brothers and my sisters, if you are always comforted, if you are always comforted in your walk with God, and in the road that you're traveling, then may I suggest to you that if you find everything comfortable, then your growth has stopped. You cannot grow because anything that grows or anybody that grows have to be stretched. If you're the same size, whether it's physically or spiritually, then you have not been stretched. And so you have become complacent, being in your comfort zone. And you don't want to move because it's too difficult and too much of a fight and a struggle, and it calls for some patience. And so if I don't want the struggle, don't want the fight, don't want the pain to grow, then I just divert back to my place of comfort. It's kind of like not having time to do some yard work, and then the yard work begin to grow and begin to have a little more to do. And so now it's not as easy to go out there and do it. So while we were letting it go, and it was getting out of hand, once we start to go out there and do that, and now it's not as easy as it has been. And so what we do is we go out there and we work a little while, and we see how hard it is. And so what we rather do is go back in the house, get back in our recliner, get our remote, and start back looking at television, and then call somebody else to do the work. So instead of going on and doing the work and making progress, we go back and get back into our recliner. Come on now. Y'all know what it is. So what was happening with the church, the Hebrew church, was that under this stress, under this persecution, they was going back, and someone was threatening to go back to what was comfortable to them. Could it be that our growth has been stagnant? because we don't want to move out of our comfort zone. So it's been like this all the time. This is the way we've been doing it all the time. So let's just leave it alone. I like it like this. And see, the reason we like it like this, because we can do it with our eyes closed almost. Oh, that's nothing to it. I don't know why people have trouble with that. I can do that with my eyes closed. And so they want to go back. So the writer is encouraging them. And he encouraged them by reminding them of all the work and all of the progress that Jesus has done on their behalf. And he said, in light of what Jesus has done, he's a great high priest, and he has exceeded the Aaronic priesthood of Aaron and all the rest of his successors, because all of them had gone into all of his successors. From Aaron to all of his successors had gone into the temple, into the tabernacle, and they had to do it once. They could only do it once a year. Not only did they take blood in there for themselves and something for the people, but for themselves also. And then not only that, but he brings out, and when you study this out, you find out that he brings out even the rest that Christ has given. And I'll share that with you at a later time about the rest, because I look at three different rests. There's a physical rest. There's a spiritual rest. Then there is an eternal rest. And so what Jesus has done, with all wrapped up in one, he has given us both. All three. He have fixed it that we can get physical rest, spiritual rest, and in eternal rest. Now, I don't know about you, but I just told you earlier that we were saying I'm going to rest from all of my labor. Where? Over yonder, where Jesus is. Now, if those of us who are going to rest from our labor over yonder, where Jesus is, the only way we're going to be able to rest from labor is we're going to have to do some labor. There's no need to talk about resting from our labor, and you haven't labored. Now, I'm not talking about going out there cutting your grass, de-weeding your flower bed. No. I'm talking about if we're going to rest from our labor, then our labor got to be in the vineyard of the Lord. So if we have not been working in the vineyard of the Lord, then there's no need of us talking about we're going to rest from our labor. Now don't be talking about over yonder where Jesus is. If you're going to rest from some labor that they haven't been done, you may be over there where JoJo is, but not where Jesus is. Over there where Jackie is. Jesse June or June Bud. But not where Jesus is. And so brothers and sisters, let us not become weary in our well-doing. He said, seeing then that Christ has done all of these things for us. What are we doing? Seeing then that we have a great high priest that is passed into the heaven, Jesus, the Son of God. Since we That word perfection is translated confession. So if we have confessed a hope in Christ, then hold on to that. If you have confessed that he's my all in all, hold on to that. If you have confessed that he's a way maker, hold on to that. You have confessed that you've been redeemed by the blood of Christ, hold on to that. If you have confessed that he's my everything, hold on to that. Don't let go in the time of crisis. That's what happened with a lot of us. Time the waves get a little rough. Little risk get in the water. Then we want to forfeit our walk with Christ. And so what he's telling the Hebrew church and also telling us, hold on to what you've been talking about you believe. Hold on to the one you say you've been trusting in. Yes, sir. Hold on. He said hold. In other words, he said hold tight, hold fast. Let us hold fast our profession. Now watch this. The other high priest had to go into a tabernacle. The other high priest, and only them, could go behind the veil and offer up sacrifice for the atonement of the nation's sin. These high priests, as I've told you previously, did this once a year. But our great high priest had passed into the heavens. Now when it says pass into the heavens, means that he have succeeded the other atmospheres and made it way all the way to heaven. What Paul talks about in 2 Corinthians chapter 12 when he talks about being caught up in the third heaven, meaning that the place where God himself resides. And so Jesus is there, our great high priest, where God himself presides. Watch this, watch this. Then he says, what you're going through, our great high priest, understand. For we have not an high priest which cannot be touched with the feeling of our infirmities, but was in all points tempted like as we are, yet without sin. Watch this. He says, our great high priest, watch this. He understands what we're going through. He's touched with the feeling of our infirmity. What does that mean? That means that he has felt what we feel. How did he feel it? He felt it because he is the one who came down to this world. God in the flesh. He came down into this world that he may understand what we're going through. He is the Son of God and the Son of man. He's both deity and humanity. And so by him being a deity and humanity, he's able to represent us and humanity to God. And he's able to represent God connect us together. There was a breach there, a gap there, and no one else could fill that gap between God and humanity. So he needed someone that was so much God that he couldn't see him. But always also so much man that he understood what man was going through. And so he's touched with the feeling of our infirmity. This is the way Isaiah said it in Isaiah 53, 4 and 5. He says it like this. Surely he hath borne our grief and carried our sorrow. We esteem him smitten of God and afflicted. But he was wounded for our transgression and bruised for our iniquity. And the chastisement of our peace was upon him. And with this stripe, we are healed. So the word infirmity here really means that he understands our weakness. Yes, right. He understands when we feel like giving up. He understands how it is to be betrayed. He understands how it is to be forsaken. He understands how it is to have pain. He understands what it is to be lonely. He understands what it is when it seems like everything you do, somebody's always trying to cut you down. He understands what we're going through. He's touched with the feeling of our weaknesses. In the garden, he said, my soul is exceedingly sorrow, even unto death. Yes, my brothers and my sisters, he understands because he has experienced the things that we have and we are experiencing. Yeah, I talked about this one time, and I talked about being there, done that. So there's nothing we can bring before him that he doesn't understand. He's touched with the feeling of our infirmity. He knows what we're going through. Even though he's been touched with the same kind of temptation, same kind of weakness. He knows what it is to be hungry. He knows what it is to be thirsty. He knows what it is to be weary. So he did not give in to those things. Scripture said, yet without sin. So since we have a great high priest, where is he? Is he somewhere far off? That he's out of touch with what we are going through? Is he somewhere where our voice cannot be heard? Is he somewhere where our prayers cannot reach him? Is he somewhere where his eyes cannot see us? Where is our great high priest? Well, writer said in Hebrews 12 and 2, looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is now sat down on the right hand of the throne of God. And since he's sitting down at the right hand of the throne of God, he'll make a way for you and for me. Well, Brother Pastor, you said that he will have walked on this earth and experience what we have and what we are experiencing. Well, how he's going to be on earth if he's in heaven and he's still on earth? Well, he's in heaven because he fulfilled his mission on earth. Do you hear me? I said he's in heaven because he fulfilled his mission on earth. After he came down through 42 generations, after he had healed the sick and raised the dead, unstopped deaf ears and gave sight to the blind, after he had his encounter with the scribes, Pharisees, and Sadducees, well, they couldn't find any wrongdoing in him, but still they wanted to crucify him. So one day, while he was praying in the Garden of Gethsemane, one of his own named Judas, he had gone to the priest and told him, yeah, if you pay me, I'll deliver him unto you. Thank God, all right. And after he had prayed, found in the garden, he had to come Judas with the mob crowd. They arrested him. Yes, they did. And they led him from judgment hall to judgment hall until Pilate said, bring me some water. I want to wash my hands. That I don't want to be guilty of this innocent man. And he tried to get them to let him go. And he said, at the time of the feast, there is a rule that we can release one prisoner. And there was an insurrectionist named Barabbas. And there was Jesus the Christ. And Pilate asked the people, who it is that you wish to release. And they said, release Barabbas. Well, what you want me to do in Jesus? They said, crucify him. Well, they gave Barabbas his walking paper. And then they were going to crucify Jesus. So after they had whipped him all night long, and after they had pulled their hand from his cheek, after they had spat in his face, after they had put a crown of thorns on his head, they put an old rugged cross on his shoulders and marched him up Golgotha Hill to be crucified. He had done no wrong, but still they crucified him. They nailed his hand, they ripped his feet, they hung him high, and they stretched him wide. He's going all right, and I can hear him in the midst of feeling like he had been forsaken.
worked it out for us. We don't have to be all timid when we come to this throne. Let us therefore come boldly to the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in time of need. Watch this. When we come to the throne of grace, what happens is that he takes our sin, he takes our mistake, and he tells mercy to erase it. We obtain mercy because mercy has to do his work before grace can step in. So he said, at this throne of grace, mercy we can find. But not only can we obtain or have or be given mercy, but we can find grace, the favor of God. Mercy helps us to get beyond the judgment of God. And grace gives us the favor of God. So we bypass our penalty and collects favor. I don't know about you, but I'm glad there's a throne of grace. Because there's some things that I need to go there for. There's some mistakes that I've made. And I need to obtain some mercy. Where do I obtain? Right there at the throne of grace. But not only do I need some mercy, but I need some favor from God. I need some favors of God. And right there at the throne of grace, I can experience the favor of God. So those of you who are here, those of you who may be listening by social media, I want to say to you, there is nothing that you have done that Christ don't understand. And there's nothing that you are dealing with that you cannot come to the throne of grace and obtain mercy and find grace to help. Find favor, mercy. You can find forgiveness. You can obtain forgiveness at the throne of grace. Not only can you obtain forgiveness at the throne of grace, but you can receive favor, the favor of God at the throne of grace. Whatever you're dealing with, there's a throne of grace. When there's a problem on your job, there's a throne of grace. When there's finance, there's a throne of grace. When there's a family problem, there's a throne of grace. Emotional problem, there's the throne of grace. Sickness, there's a throne of grace. Bad report from the doctor, there's a throne of grace. You can just make it to that available throne of grace. You will be able to find help, find favor of God in the time of need. Because there is grace right there at the throne. The throne where Jesus, the one who understands the one who paid the penalty for us and secured salvation for us. He's right there at the very throne of God. And he's on the right hand. That's where the power is known. When you hear people talk about the right hand, that means that's power. That's where the strength is. And our great high priest is there. And said, I know what you're going through. Bring it here. Peter said like this in 1 Peter 5 and 7. Cast out all your care upon him, for he cares for you. The door of the church is open.